Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Buongiorno a tutti. My name is Giulia Cappello. I'm a BA student of Cultural Heritage at the University of Milan. Yesterday, we had the honor to listen to the emotional and interesting contribution to our symposium by the director of Kawai Kanjiro's house, Ms. Tamaesagi. And today I would like to provide some further food for thought about this topic and this artist, Kawai Kanjiro. The two extracts that you can read on the panel are from one of the most important and late writings of Kawai Kanjiro, where you can see his style and attitude towards the world of art and life. In the quotation, it is evident how Kawai fully embraced the concept of tariki, a Buddhist term that indicates the power that comes from outside the individual. This force guides the artist in his creations, which are filled with grace, elegance, and spirituality. The same spirituality can be found in the environment that surrounded him, once his home and studio, now a museum, and a sort of period room in Kyoto in the district of Gojozaka, which welcomes the visitor and allows him to fully enjoy the atmosphere that surrounded the artist himself when he was alive. This thought is the result of a long journey that looked the form of three main periods that have marked his artistic production. In his book Unknown Craftsman, Yanagi Suetsu, philosopher and founder together with Kawai Kanjiro and Amada Shoji of the Mingei movement in 1926, Patti praises the ceramics of the Chinese Song dynasty and also defines them as model of beauty and a source of inspiration, in particular because they are made by artisans of the people, and therefore they are anonymous and unsigned. In the first phase of production, Kanjiro is influenced by these Chinese works that would accompany him for many years, until, following criticism from Yanagi, who accuses him of limiting himself to splendid imitation of an art tending towards aesthetic perfection, Kanjiro begins to reflect and gradually detaches himself from the creation of works of Chinese influence to create something that has a more personal and original flavor, characterized by new experimentation. He also joins the Mingei movement in response to the process of industrialization that involves Japan at the beginning of the 20th century, whose mass production causes a loss of the sense of traditionalism and spirituality that was typical of Japanese craftsmanship. An example of this phase can be found in the vase for flowers in polychrome ceramic, exhibited at the 11th edition of the International Craft Exhibition of the Triennale di Milano in 1957. For some time, Japanese artists have been attracted to the aims of the Triennale as an institution that was born with the attempt to conjugate the needs of everyday life with the contemporary art and industry. The organizing committee chooses to exhibit ceramics in the Japanese section, because these objects are closely linked to the Japanese life and industry, as well as because of their close ties with the domestic and religious dimensions. Kanjiro's vase, that you can see here on the left, wins the Grand Prix at the exhibition 20 years after its creation. The curious behind the scene about this exhibition is that the artist does not exhibit his work voluntarily, but a friend of his, Kawakatsu Kenichi, the head of the promotion and exhibition department of the department store chain Takashimaya, unknowingly presents them at the Triennale, and the award is discovered by Kanjiro and his family only sometimes after the event. Kawai and Kawakatsu have had a very deep relationship of friendship and mutual trust, to such an extent that on Kawai's death, Kawakatsu donates Kanjiro's works to the National Museum of Modern Art in Kyoto, which now boasts a collection of about 425 pieces. I decided to talk about this vase because it best represents a period of transition for Kawai, who was changing again his artistic style from the previous influence of the Mingei movement to a more free and personal style. And I would like to compare it with the bottle on the right, present in Jeffrey Montgomery's collection, which from an aesthetic perspective is very similar to the vase, and which belongs instead to the third and last phase of production. I would like to show you the final evolution of his work that culminates in this eccentric style. Kawai explores new formats, quadrangular cubic parallelepipeds, as well as new glaze and decoration techniques. The first work, Vase for Flowers in Polychrome Ceramic, made in 1939, exhibited at the Triennale, has a bright white color obtained with the technique of akeme ceramics, of Korean origin. It consists in a white cover that adheres to the surface of the vase. It is decorated with light brown streaks at the edges, the neck and base. And particularly interesting is the decoration used by Kanjiro for this work, which is distinctive of the intermediate period. On the vase we can see the motif of the marumon, the pattern of a circle with flowers and leaves on different colors within it. And in this example, red and blue iris. In this particular case, some red and blue birds complete the decoration. The second work, Bottle in Blue Glaze Stoneware with a decorated flower motif made in 1952, is a major example of the eccentricity of Kawai's work. Here we notice a decisive change, the perfect balance of the forms and the decoration in relief. The glaze technique here embraces the bright cobalt blue color called gosu. We can also see one of the most innovative and important stylistic techniques of the artist's last period, Iroe, the multicolor glaze which combines tutsugaki, the sleep trail decoration, and color glazes, and contrasts them with the colored base. The pattern on flowers and leaves remains present but in relief, with brown, white, green, and black details dripping to give the work this strong sense of vitality. I would like to conclude by saying that it's interesting to note how these three realities, namely Kanjiro's house, the exhibition of the Triennale di Milano, and the Montgomery collection, share a common trait, the domestic and daily dimension. Kanjiro combines life and work in a single family space, which, by the way, he built entirely by himself. The 11th exhibition of Triennale di Milano decides to exhibit ceramics, which in the Japanese society are strongly linked to the everyday life, production and religion. And finally, the Montgomery collection best shows the collector's passion in collecting the pieces that live with him and are an integral part of the furniture of his home. Okay. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce my colleague, Karen, for the next.